Hello, everyone. This is Hannah Thompson-Weeman here with the Animal Agriculture Alliance. We'll give here to hop on to the live stream. Please do drop a comment. Let me know who's watching. Tell me who you are, a little bit about your background and your role. And of course, if you have questions as we chat, you can drop those in as well. I'm seeing some folks show up. Hello, good afternoon here, East Coast time. Again, this is Hannah Thompson-Weeman. I'm here with the Animal Ag Alliance. I see one hello there in the comments. Hi, good afternoon. Again, if you are watching, drop in those comments. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from, and of course, if you have any questions as we chat. Well, hi everyone. My name is Hannah Thompson-Weeman, and I'm joining you this afternoon on behalf of an organization called the Animal Agriculture Alliance. If you aren't familiar with the Alliance, we are a nonprofit, and our mission is to bridge the communication gap between farm and fork. We're based in Arlington, Virginia, but I live in Maryland, and we've all been remote with everything going on. So I'm coming to you this afternoon from the Eastern Shore of Maryland. My role with the Alliance is the Vice President of our Strategic Engagement, and you'll hear a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. To tell you a little bit about my background, I'm from Maryland originally. I grew up more to the western side of the state. I have a dairy background, so I do have a background in animal agriculture. I grew up in 4-H and FFA and doing all of those great programs, and that took me to Ohio State to study agricultural communication, and I have my undergrad and master's from Ohio State, my undergrad in ag communications, and my master's in ag and extension education. I've been here with the Alliance for a little over 6 years now, so been in this role for a while now, had some great opportunities, and I'm excited to talk with you all this afternoon more about us. If you'd like to find me on social, my handle is Buckeye Hannah on pretty much everything. So as I mentioned, I went to Ohio State, so that's where the Buckeye comes from. So Facebook, I have a private page, but on Twitter, Instagram, you can find me as Buckeye Hannah, and would love to chat with you there. As I mentioned, the Animal Agriculture Alliance is a nonprofit, and our mission is to bridge the communication gap between farm and fork. So everything we do is about communicating accurate, science-based information about animal agriculture to key audiences. We know that as dietitians, you get a lot of questions from your clients or from your social pages about how are animals raised? Are animals being treated well? How are antibiotics used? What's the environmental impact of animal agriculture? Because people are taking more of these elements into consideration when they're deciding about their diets. So we want to help you connect to the farm. We want to help you be able to answer those questions and be a very informed resource for your clients. I'm going to drop the Alliance's social list into the comments, so you should be able to find us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have a blog, pretty much every social platform that's out there you can find the Alliance on. The Alliance's mission, as I mentioned, is all about bridging that gap from farm to fork, and we have 3 key areas that we work in. That's connect, engage, and protect. The connect part of our work is connecting everyone who's a part of animal agriculture. So everyone from farmers and ranchers, companies, trade associations, restaurant and retail, everyone who's part of that barnyard is who we have among our membership. And then we work to engage with key influencers. So people like dietitians, restaurant retail brands, the media, anyone who has a strong voice in this conversation about animal agriculture and food is who we're looking to connect with, provide resources to, and help them, again, with any questions they might have about animal agriculture. The key topics we focus on primarily is animal welfare. So how are animals raised? What animal welfare practices are in place on farms? As part of that, responsible antibiotic use. And then over the past few years, we've started focusing a lot on the topic of sustainable nutrition. So, what is the value of meat, poultry, dairy, and eggs in the diet, and how are these products produced, keeping the environment and sustainability top of mind? Because, again, as we know, those topics are of key interest to our consumers. Lastly is protect, and that is monitoring some of the adversarial voices out there when it comes to farming and food. I know this is a very social media savvy group, so you are no stranger to trolls and to some of the negative reactions you might get when you talk about food on social media, particularly groups that are just opposed to animal agriculture. They don't believe there's any way to responsibly raise animals for food, so they're really opposed to animal agriculture in general. So again, we do a lot of monitoring of those groups, and we help our members deal with those situations when they might find themselves being targeted. In addition to those general topics, I wanted to touch on some of the specific resources we have available for dietitians. I'm going to drop a link in the chat box both to our website and then to a video that we had published in our Fancy booth this year. We've really enjoyed the opportunity to engage at Fancy over the past few years, whether it's the build-up events that we've enjoyed attending that have been organized, and we've probably met several of you, and then also having a booth at the in-person Fancy conference a couple years ago, and then the virtual one that just happened a few months ago in 2020. So as this video overviews, again, we're here to help you be a resource, break down what's going on out there. Specifically on our website, you might be interested in some of the tabs around the issues I mentioned. So about animal welfare, all the programs that are going on out there, about antibiotic use, and about sustainability. We also have a page about nutrition. I'm sure you all know way more than us about that subject, but there are some great resources there about the value that, again, meat, dairy, and eggs and poultry can bring to a healthy, balanced diet. Something else I want to emphasize about the Alliance is that we are all about choice. So we are not a checkoff program who's kind of charged with promoting certain animal products or promoting growth and consumption of those. We're really all about helping make sure consumers have access to accurate, balanced information when they're making their own food purchasing decisions, which can be very personal and driven by their own values, their own budgets, and what they ultimately want to feed their family. So at the Alliance, we don't endorse one diet over another or one type of product over another. It's all about making sure people have the right information, the balanced information, so they can make their own personal choices, which again, I know aligns with values you all as dietitians share. We also host webinars regularly for dietitians and other audiences. So if you're interested in getting more information, drop your email or reach out to me and I will let you know how to get signed up for those. But we do offer educational opportunities to folks throughout the year, including dietitians. One of those very exciting educational opportunities I wanted to share with you this afternoon is our 2021 Stakeholder Summit. So every year, the Alliance holds a Stakeholder Summit. Usually these are in person, either in the DC area or Kansas City. But of course, last year and now this year, we are going fully virtual due to the ongoing challenges we're all facing with public health and events and gathering and travel. So it's a really neat opportunity, if you haven't been able to attend one of our summits before, to attend at a lower rate and from the comfort of your own home or your own office without needing to travel. Our summit is all about bringing together everyone with a vested interest in the future of animal agriculture, which definitely includes dietitians, to talk about the industry. What are consumers thinking? What are the current trends? What issues are we facing? What can we do about them? And ultimately, what real actionable steps can all of us take to ensure a bright future for animal agriculture? Our theme for 2021 is Obstacles to Opportunities. I'm sure everyone has heard a million times about the obstacles of 2020, the way everyone has had to pivot, and really the food system has faced a lot of obstacles over the past year as well. And we want to talk about how to turn those into a positive, how to embrace some of the trends, embrace some of the changes we've all had to navigate, and turn them into opportunities for the future of animal agriculture. And that's our theme for 2021. Our last year's virtual summit brought in over 500 attendees, so we're really excited to hopefully grow even larger than that this year. And again, those attendees are everyone from farmers and ranchers, restaurant retail brands, company leaders, association leaders, dietitians, chefs, all of those type of contacts who have a role to play in the food system. We welcome them to join us at the Stakeholder Summit this year. A few sessions you might be keenly interested in that I know feature some folks that are active with this group or have spoken to this group before. We're going to have a session on food purchasing trends. So we all know things have changed. There's been some shifts over the past year. So Kim Kircher, independent dietitian who has a great supermarket RD background and some involvement with animal agriculture. And again, I know she's spoken to this group and been active here before. She's going to be leading a panel discussion about those changes, those food purchasing decisions, and what they mean for our communications efforts. So again, how we can adapt, how we can shift, and how we can move forward. I've mentioned the word sustainability several times, and sustainable food systems is obviously a hot button issue. We're going to have Marianne Smith Edge, an RD who has her own firm, the Agri-Nutrition Edge, who's going to be leading another discussion around animal agriculture and animal protein's role on the plate and in a sustainable food system. So she has several experts in food systems, sustainability, nutrition, food security lined up to have a conversation about, again, how we harness all of the interests around sustainable food systems and make sure animal agriculture is playing its role in providing healthy, nutritious, responsibly produced, sustainable options to our growing and hungry planet. We're also really excited about a keynote address by Timothy Caulfield. He is, of course, a professor at the University of Alberta, a very well-known speaker and author, does a lot around food myths and debunking myths and misinformation and sharing, communicating science. And he's going to speak with us about how we respond to misinformation and fight misinformation in the time of COVID-19. I'm sure we've all seen a lot of conspiracy theories and false information circulating out there on things like social media, especially over the past year with all of the discussion of the pandemic. And we've seen a lot of that center on the food system and some false claims about animal agriculture allegedly being tied to pandemics from some of those critical voices we touched on earlier. So we're really excited to have Timothy Caulfield speaking with our group about how we counter that and how we take these great scientific stories we have and make sure they're resonating with our consumers. We also have copies of Timothy's latest book available to summit attendees at a discount rate. So if you do register, make sure you take advantage of the discounted opportunity to nab his latest book, which looks at your daily decisions and how science plays into those and how we can make sure, again, we're not getting caught up in food and nutrition myths as we make those type of decisions. Again, all of those folks are previous build-up speakers, so I know they would definitely be of interest to you. Other sessions, we have a few examples. We have a farmer panel. So farmers and ranchers are going to tell us about their experiences and challenges they face when it comes to communicating about what they do and how we can all support them. We're going to have a session on the new administration, what's coming up for food, what's coming up for agriculture and the environment under a new administration. So what can we all expect and how we can make our voices heard. We're going to have another keynote from a few farmers. They haven't been officially announced yet, so this is a little bit of a preview tidbit for you guys. But we're going to hear from some farmers who've had to pivot their business model and look for some new ways to get their product to consumers after all of the challenges of the past year. So I think that'll be a really exciting and inspirational discussion of how we can all consider what challenges are coming our way and how we can adapt and remain successful into the future. We'll also have a few sessions on those adversarial voices that I've referenced and how we can make sure we're avoiding any mitigating influence they might have on what people are hearing about food and farming. I'm dropping the link to our Stakeholder Summit website in the chat so you can see the full agenda there and you can also register. I have an exciting announcement for the group here. We are offering a discounted rate to dietitians, particularly folks that are joining us here today. So you can use the discount code RD2021. So RD 2021 will get you $25 off of your registration. So that's $25 off of the non-member registration rate, which will get you in at a very affordable rate for all of these. I believe it's about 14 hours of content that we are offering. The virtual summit is coming up in May, so it will be May 5th and 6th primarily, and then in a series of pre-conference webinars the days leading up to that. So again, a pre-conference webinar series, April 28th to May 4th. And then the actual full virtual summit will be May 5th and 6th with all of those very exciting speakers I just mentioned. I'm going to drop the instructions to register and get that discounted rate into the chat. So our registration rates, again, are even lower than last year. We've tried to make this as affordable as possible, but those rates do go up on Monday. So today, over the weekend, is a really great opportunity for you to get in, get registered, use that discount code, and really get access to a lot of very timely, applicable content at a really reduced rate. So again, encourage you visit that website, learn more about the summit, and hopefully get registered to hear from a few fellow RDs, as well as folks from all across the animal agriculture food chain. I've really enjoyed the opportunity to connect with you this afternoon. I again welcome you to put your questions in the chat if you do have any. I'll hold on another minute or two here and give you the opportunity to type any questions in. I haven't seen any yet. But we really appreciate the opportunities we've had to engage with dietitians through groups like Build Up and other types of events. We think you guys are really critical in the conversation about food, about sustainability. So we appreciate the opportunity to visit with you this afternoon. This is, of course, an ongoing conversation. So if you're watching this later and we're not live and you want to reach out, certainly don't hesitate to do so. You've got our website link there, animalagalliance.org. You can follow us on social, reach out to me, any ways you'd like to stay in touch. I see a comment here making sure folks note that according to CDR, courses don't have to be approved by CDR as long as they meet your portfolio needs and have a credentialed speaker. So a great point about your ways to get benefits from the summit for your licensure. So thank you, I believe, Leah, for making that clarification in the comment for folks who might be listening. Alrighty, well again, I've really enjoyed the opportunity to chat with you all and tell you more about the Animal Ag Alliance this afternoon. Please do check out the summit, consider registering, reach out to us if you ever get a question about animal agriculture, sustainability, antibiotic use, animal welfare, any of those hot topics. We are here to help, we're here to be a resource to you, so we hope to hear from you in the future. Thanks everyone and have a great Friday.